I ain't doing this no more. Cause oh my god, I can't do it. Oh my god, I cannot see. Okay, show stream.
All right. The technical difficulties. All right, Taylor. So take yourself back out the stream. All right. Hey everyone, we're back. So sorry about that. Um, and I think we showed both commercials. Well, let's start over. Welcome to Mashup TV. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. Still figuring things out. It's one of the things when you try to produce a live show every week, especially when you're doing it remotely. Technologies can sometimes be tricky. So if we start over, um, I think we're going to go ahead and start off and bring in our guests for today. Yay! Hey, Antricia. Hey, Sean.
Hey,
How y'all doing?
what
Thank you for
up?
like being with us as we like try to get this stuff together.
Been there.
Okay, yes, it happens.
Oh my goodness. It's like, you be having things all laid out and like you be thinking like it's all together and stuff and like, little small things just
Listen, they say the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. So here we are.
look. Yes,
Just spoke.
yes. Look, we just try to go with it. I'm like in my friend's basement trying to make it work. And I just landed in DC like 30 minutes ago, like almost an hour ago. And like,
Wow.
yeah, so like, it's just a little difficult. And like our social media manager, bless her heart, she's like doing her best. And like she just learned the software. And
Listen, it gets better every time. Every time. Did we lose Shani?
I was like, hey, like, where'd she go?
Y'all just add me. Yeah, I'm like, add me
Okay.
back. Sorry.
Uh, well, thank you guys for coming and joining us this week on Mashup TV. We appreciate you, man. This show we are going to talk about the queer vote and how important it is for us to use our voice. And
Yes.
this is a medium for us to use our voice, for us to talk and have these conversations, to talk directly to our people and to have conversations about what's going on with us. And we are in a pivotal time right now in our nation, and it is important more than ever for us to speak out and use the voices that we have in whatever mediums that we have. And one of the important ways for us to speak is to vote. So and Tricia and Shani, I am going to let you guys introduce yourselves and tell what you do. Both of you all are multifaceted individuals doing a whole bunch of things in and out of community, and y'all also fly and y'all real cute. I just I
Try to
like seeing
be.
y'all every time I come out. It's just it's always just fun to be in y'all presence, and y'all just are beautiful people, and
Oh,
y'all just so happen to like each other, which I really love too. So, um, why don't y'all introduce yourselves?
yes. We like each other a lot. So, my name is Entricia Gordon. Huh. I am a life strategist. and also half of Blipster VA, which is a virtual support solutions agency. I am also a third of Black Link, which I'll actually let Shani tell you a little bit more about that. Um, and also, I am the Director of Organizational Efficiency and Wellbeing for the Equity Alliance, which is based right here in Nashville, Tennessee, also a nonprofit organization. We build Black economic, civic, and political power.
So,
Okay, is it my turn? Because she got a list. But I feel like, I mean, we might both have something like a list. So, Shani Glapion, the wife of and Tricia Gordon. So that's why we say we like each other a lot. I'm also project manager, um, the other half of Blipster VA, an organizer with the Equity Alliance, and also I am one third of Black Link, which is a social group for Black lesbians and queer women identifying individuals. And we like to put on social events and create communities for um, a population that is not really sought after, fought for, but is much needed.
yes, yes, indeed. I love y'all events. I love what y'all doing with Black Link. Don't y'all have like I know y'all just had an event because I was there. Was that last
Yeah,
week?
yeah, it was a good time. It
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
vibe.
yeah. That was cute. That was a little, yeah. I was like, and I knew y'all was gonna be there at Golden Pony, but like I was like, I walked up to the door and it was like closed for private event. Y'all had your own little like like section off. I was like, oh okay. These are grown
We got
folks. They was like, everybody can't sit with us. Like it was
Let me
cute.
say it is for grown. It is for grown folks. It is a 30 and over group. We definitely that's our focus is 30 and up because that's where we live in that
Mhm,
age
mhm.
range there, and so creating community for those like ourselves. There's other organizations. Well, there are other groups that kind of serve other age groups. So more power to them, and I enjoy their parties and events, but Black Link is a vibe. And so before we get into the politics of things,
Mhm.
August 25th. August 25th is our next event. It'll be a pool
Yes.
party. So ladies, come through.
Okay. Okay. That sounds like fun.
It's
That
gonna
sounds
be a
like
good
fun.
time. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a
Where y'all
good time.
having a pool party at?
Alvine Linyard residence out there in North Nashville. Everybody
Yeah.
know it.
I was
Mhm.
just speaking about this place because it's black owned, right? It's
Yep,
Yep.
black.
yep,
It's black female owned, and
yep.
like it's like I was just telling someone about this earlier that it was a dope place, and like I'm sad
hmm
that I'm not gonna be in town, to crash y'all party. I'm sorry, but that sounds like a good time. I wish I could attend. But yeah, okay. So let's get into it. So voting, y'all tell me why y'all excited to vote this this next election, this election season. Why are y'all out here, promoting voting and stuff?
I'm not.
Go ahead, Tracy.
I,
Well, I was going to say I'm not necessarily excited to vote, but I
mm,
know that it is. I know that it is necessary. I know
mhm,
that it is my civic duty. There are a lot of there's a lot of legislation that's happening that affects me as a queer person.
mhm.
Um, and so it's necessary, even though it's not something that I am excited about. I'm gonna let Shani answer. I wanted to just shout out Brian and say we hope you feel better.
Yes.
Sorry you couldn't be here today, but we are lifting you up, and I wanted to speak his name in this space. Go ahead, Shani.
So I am kind of excited to vote uh, because, to be honest, like Kamala's running, so that's why I'm excited. We had the big shift of Biden dropping out, but as far as of just in order for me to keep being able to do things with Black Link and as a Black person, as a Black woman, I feel like things are on the line right now. Our
Mhm,
life is really, it's going through something special.
Hmm.
And so I'm excited to have my voice be heard. I'm excited to make sure that the people who shouldn't be in office don't get in office to the best of my ability. Um, and so, yeah, that's why I'm excited to vote. But
Okay.
it's mainly for my livelihood.
How are you, Jared, how are you feeling about voting?
uh, I feel you know I'm more excited now than I was 2 weeks ago. You know,
Mhm.
because Kamala is in the running and it has become a very interesting race.
I
Um,
gotta pause. Kamala,
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 yeah.
Kamala,
Hmm.
and you know me and my country
You a
ass.
name.
So you know, and you know, and also it's anyway. I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm gonna do right because I could pronounce the name, and I'm Kamala. I am really when Biden dropped out. I think it shifted things, and we knew that something different was happening. And I think this at the end of the day, this is going to I think we always knew this is a very pivotal election, like you said. I think this is kind of, the United States will go in several different ways depending on what happens within this next election season. So, um, I understand the feeling of not being excited because it seems like grave. It seems like heavy.
Hmm.
But I'm also um I think there is an opportunity to make something different happen. I think I am excited to see what change comes out on the end. Um, just because I think some great things could be happening. So I could share some of your excitement too.
Yeah, it's funny that you said like it's gray. Um, and that's a interesting word to use with it. But I also understand like it feels like dark times right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I did use like our life is on the line.
Yeah.
I it I think with every election in some form or fashion, our life is on the line. So it's not so much that this one is really important. You got Project 2025 that has
Mm-hmm.
been talked about. Um, you know, People are putting their playbooks out on the table for you to
Yo.
actually see but these playbooks have been in play since, I mean, since I don't want to say the beginning of time, at least by the 60s when the shift of,
Yeah.
started to happen.
What I
Um,
think is interesting, I would say, like, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but
no,
like
you good.
people are being so abrupt about, like, and very open about what they want to do. Like, I feel
Hmm.
like this is quite interesting, even more interesting than the first time that Trump ran, because I feel like, he was saying some stuff, he had kind of agenda and stuff, but I think like people were like, I feel like he was just kind of going out there and saying stuff, and like
He's
it's
still doing that, but
and like just saying random stuff. And he's still doing that, but like I feel like the conservative government or they're being very like detailed or like very open about what their like strategy is. I think kind of after like the other 4 years, we kind of saw like, oh, this is what their strategy was all along, and like you can kind of see it coming, but like they like are saying like in your face, like yo, that's everything that we want to do, which is interesting because I don't feel like a lot of people actually believe that they're trying to do it. I don't know.
So can I just say, you mentioned change. You were excited about the change that's happening. Now, I love the fact that and I'm saying this very much sarcastically, a questionable black woman is running for the highest office in the land. I think for me, I'm not as excited because I know that the policies that affect my life most immediately and most tangibly are informed by local elections.
Yeah,
And I know that a lot of us
yeah,
get very excited about midterm elections. We get very excited about presidential elections, but we don't show up for local elections, and those are the most impactful for our lives. And so I just want to share that yes, we have this amazing thing happening all the way up here, but what we're neglecting is right here. And I think that we do need to pay more attention to our local elections as well. And then Shani mentioned Project 2025. It is they're telling us like what the plan is, what the game is, and it's disappointing to me to know that they have this entire plan that they have considered, that they put in place, that they put all of this work into, but there's not also a plan from the Democratic side. Like, where's our plan? What are
Mm,
we actually putting in place? What does
yeah,
our future look like? So I don't even know what to be excited about.
yeah. That is fair. That is fair. I think part of that from um my standpoint, or what from what I see with the Democratic Party, I feel like there's a lack of unified vision as to kind of what does a progressive counterpoint to a Project 2025 look like. I think there's
Mhm.
a hard, because some people be like, oh no, we should forgive all the student loans, and others like, that's a little too much, why so like it's just I think which is interesting, because I think it seems like if you are a person, I think it's easier to unify people under hate and under like
Yes.
than it is like because when you
Mhm.
say freedom or like kind of progressive stuff, it's like kind of like, well, how progressive, how free do you want me to
Yeah.
be, you know there's always like,
The,
yeah, we need to keep
it becomes
everybody in line a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it becomes difficult because, like you said, there's one party that's going for more of hate, and then there's one
Yes.
party that's trying to have this big umbrella,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
cover everybody, which
Yeah.
that doesn't quite work. And so
Right.
that's when the third party typically comes up. And I know a lot of people are like, we should vote third party, we should vote third party, and I'm not opposed to it, but I want people to consider starting at a local level, like Entricia said, those are impact your life day to day. Your
Right.
city council person that is sitting in office creating a budget for your city, that determines how you know the traffic lights, how those
Yep.
operate, your
Yep.
your sidewalks, the things that you're typically complaining about. That is local elections. And
Yeah.
so for me, if you are saying vote third party, then my question is, what lower level candidates are you working towards? Because
Mm-hmm.
the reality is we are not a big, on a presidential level, we are a two-party system.
Mm-hmm.
And like, should it be a two-party system? That's up for discussion, right? But if you want something different, it does not start when you announce the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate. It's as people have these people were putting together Project 2025 for years. It's like 100 conservative groups that came together for this.
Big
Now,
time.
granted, how big are those groups? Whole different conversation. But these people when Trump was in office this last time, they got together and was like, yo, we got somebody that's working for us, that believe that we can work with him. We give him his money, which is going to help us too, and we can get the stuff that we want done. And they came together and they're doing that. I do want to say that, like, on the Democratic side, things are happening, but when you have that large umbrella, it's hard for everybody to feel that coverage. That oh, these plans or this is protecting me,
Yeah.
and that's where things start getting convoluted.
Yeah. So there's two things I want to ask you guys. So, one thing that you brought up was like the third party. And people wanting more of a third party option. Then you're talking about, the importance of local elections. One of the things I think is be interesting, what if there were more third party candidates on local levels, and then built our way up. And like, because everything starts from a grassroots. And I think it'll be interesting to see if we had like a more of a wave of independent parties and candidates at local levels. And like, if you could build like an independent or like third party groups, and kind of see if you could take over one state and then build up. I think that would be really interesting to see. um that's just my political mind going. You know, I'm not into that work right now. But the thing, also, the other questions I wanted to ask, and Tricia, um, you mentioned that you were excited about some of the things that's happening in the local elections. Like, what is coming up? Soon. Like, what is the next opportunity for us to vote locally? And if you all know, like, what are some things that will be on the ballot?
There are definitely some Senate seats that are open. I believe there's some congressional seats as well. There's definitely
Yes.
school board, which is going to affect us locally. What else is on the ballot, Shani? Do you know?
Well, let me just start with we just missed an election if you didn't
Hmm.
vote August
Yeah,
1st. So
I
that was
did.
I so did we. We pretty much vote every election.
Every time.
Um yeah, I think we might have missed one just because Nashville has so many, it seems. So there
Yeah.
is there is voting fatigue, if you will,
Hmm.
because it seems
And
like
voter
something is
apathy.
always, yeah, it seems like something is always happening. So in these elections, these were your primary elections. So a lot of people running uncontested and whatnot. There are definitely flippable seats that are happening for Tennessee state rep and your local and Tennessee Senate races as well. So there's some flippable seats there um, that I would very much encourage people to look into who's running, depending on where you are. I'm just going to plug the Equity Alliance. They have a voter guide
Yes.
that it's
Yes.
nonpartisan. It
Mhm.
is like, I mean, it's just information about the candidates.
It's
And
very
once you
good.
see that, yeah, once you see that information, listen, I'm involved, but I still download that voter guide and it comes to my email and I take a look before I go into the booth because you see people, I interact with folks, I kind of have an idea who I'm voting for, but also let me see what your ideals are on gay rights, on women reproductive rights, those are important things for me as someone who has dealt with women reproductive issues, I would want to make sure that the next person has the coverage that I was able to have, and be able to do what they need to do to live their best lives. So, a lot of what is going on locally is definitely the school vouchers.
Mm.
Um, However you feel about them, you know, one thing that is happening with those school vouchers though is there are people with money who are sending their kids to private school who are using these vouchers to get a financial reduction in sending their kids to private schools. So they were already sending the kids to private schools. They clearly got it, but they're using these vouchers. Um, I mean, they're taking advantage of the system. Honestly, that's how I see it. Because if I like allowing people to choose what school they want to go to, it sounds good, but if you could invest in the schools in people's local community, if I could walk to a great school, I wouldn't have to worry about busing across the city. So, you know,
And I
that's
think
just
that's
my
like the
thoughts
main
on.
thing, yeah, that like people don't realize, like, kind of like, I think a lot of times, like, sometimes when people learn about laws or different things, like, you have to understand the cause and effect. Like, if this happens, like, what is happening, with the school voucher program. it's not just new money for like people to like send their kids to like whatever school they want to. They're taking money from one school and like they get to flip it to another one. So like,
From public schools to
from the
private
public
schools.
schools to private schools. And
So
by divesting outside of our public school system, you affect the ability for it to like educate and for it to make itself better. And it's that is a issue. That is an issue.
We mentioned voter apathy
Mm,
just briefly, and I feel like there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of the main reasons is lack of education. Like folks
yeah,
don't understand how these policies, how what's happening in your city is affects your day-to-day life. It affects
yeah.
your grocery tax, where your kids go to school, the sidewalks, and all of this stuff that Shani mentioned earlier. And so we really have to connect the issues with the person, and we have to meet people where they are. Um,
And like the thing
the
is, I'm sorry to cut you off,
No, you're
and
good.
go back. But like they don't teach people. They don't make it really
by
easy for you to
design.
understand
Yep,
like what's
absolutely
happening.
intentional.
Like it's
Mhm.
not a lot of information. Like there's no news like ballots and kind of like go usually like about like kind of what's happening on the ballot and how all this like we don't get history. It's like we're not educated.
Shani has a great idea to help solve that, but it's gonna require a lot of money and some funding, and so we won't mention it right now, but we'll bring it up. We'll bring it
Well,
up when we're ready. We'll bring it
I
up when we're ready. But I
I
wanted
believe
to
God
say
will
because
provide.
listen, I will. Uh, so the voter registration deadline for Nashville is 30 days before Election Day, which is
Okay.
Monday, October the 7th. So make sure that you either register online, or if you are registering by mail, make sure it's postmarked by that date. That is also the last day for you to register in person.
You
And
said
so that
Monday,
Monday,
October.
October 7th.
Okay.
And then Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th.
Tuesday, November
So
5th.
that's your next opportunity to use your voice and show up and show out.
Let me
Now,
add this.
do we know when
Let
the
me
early
add this
election?
piece.
Okay. Sorry.
Hold
Go ahead.
on. Let me add this piece because 17-year-olds, if you will be 18 by election day, you can register to vote now. I know these parents
Mm,
are
mm,
your kids are frustrated as well. Like it's time they can get registered and they can vote in this election if they're 18 by November 5th. That's the voting day, right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's good to know. That's good to know. And so when is early election? Do we know when the early election period is?
We just did primaries. So primaries was August, and then the next election is in November.
No,
No,
are
Oh
no,
we
the
wait, I'm
talking
early
about
sorry. No,
voting
early
it
election?
yep, you're right. It's in August. My bad. Go ahead.
the dates are because I have to work some of them. It ends the 27th of October.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. We were talking about early voting. Yes.
I
Early
said
voting
early
ends October
election. I
27th.
am so
Yeah,
sorry about
that's why I
this.
got thrown off.
My bad. That was me.
Yeah,
We got it. We worked it out.
yeah. So the early voting is important. That's when you're not going to have your lines. You'll typically be able to get in and out real quick. One
And I
main
love
thing
early
before
voting because you can go to either one.
you
Like
can
either
go to
your
either,
city.
yep,
Yeah, you don't got to go
you
to
can go
just one
anywhere in the
location.
county.
You can go anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then check your voting status like
Please.
today, right now, check it. And I have one of the shows I listen to, they're saying every Monday, check your matter of fact, and when y'all tune in to mashup, that'd be a good time to just log in and check your voting status
Check your voting
because
status.
they're playing games out here and they're removing people from the voter roll, and that is just that's a setup. Everything is by design. what they're doing. They make it difficult. They make it convoluted. Everything is for us um, to want to not be involved. Like, oh, I don't really do politics. Politics do you though.
Yeah,
You might not do politics, but everything that you're doing has politics behind it
that's
in
real.
some form or fashion.
That's real. Well, I appreciate you guys. You have dropped some gems on us. You have educated us. And all right, so I know we told people to go check out when you go to vote, go check out the voting guide that the Equity Alliance. We will definitely be reposting that on the Mashup page. But I know that's a good resource. Are there any other like resources or things that you want to tell the people about?
Vote.gov is excellent. You can go there and you can check your voter registration status. You can get registered to vote. You can find out election early voting dates, and the deadlines for your state. It doesn't matter what state you're in. That is an excellent resource. Also, vote411.org is an excellent resource. If you put in your address, it will give you a list, very similar to the voter guide, a list of the folks that are running in your area. You can find out more about them, what's going to be on the ballot. Also, while voting is extremely important, there are other ways to get to use your voice and be heard.
Yep.
I think what one main way that I want to plug, because we don't have a lot of time, is actually running for office.
Mm,
And getting
I was
involved in
going
your
there.
local boards and commissions. Yeah, getting
yes.
involved in your local boards and commissions. And there are several organizations in the Nashville area that can help you get plugged in if you're interested in running for office.
There are
Yeah,
so
let
many.
me shout out one. Let me
Go
shout out
ahead.
one. Let me shout out one. Because Emerge Tennessee. I am alum of Emerge. If you are interested in running for office, it's specifically for women, Democratic women. But this is like I'm looking at you, Black queer women. We need you in office. We need more of us. Our voices matter. We really lift up this everybody, to be all the way honest. So um, Emerge is a great organization. Go ahead, Jerry. What were you saying?
I don't hear you.
You, yeah, I think you went on you while you coming back. We there's also volunteering and like there are opportunities to get involved up up to the election in different ways. Like the Equity Alliance is hiring canvassers. Um, you can go and volunteer if you're not looking for anything major. You can just come out and knock doors for a day, whenever your time allows. It will be a chance for you to get involved, give back, while also making an impact.
And if you can't donate your time, donate your money, because these organizations always need money to keep going.
True.
Start with Mashup. Go ahead and make a donation before you
Hey,
log off.
come on now. Now you preaching. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Pass the
Use your
collection plate.
voice. Use your
Doors
voice.
of the church is
Hallelujah.
open.
Amen. Look. No, but for real, like, money, support, all that stuff. And one of the things I was trying to say before my mic, rudely died on me was that there are so many election seats and like political seats that go like uncontested. Like there's no one who contests to run against these people, or just things that are not filled at
Yeah.
all. Like, yo, these are jobs that no one is applying for. Like no one
Yeah.
is applying for, and like they just don't get filled. Like these are paying jobs, and no one is applying. Like some of these like got paid, like you get paid to do it, and like no one is running for these positions. And in like any one of like you don't a lot of things. I think people don't think that they are qualified to do. And like some of these, like all you have to be is a person who's willing to use their voice.
I mean, listen, we have some crazy people in office right now
Yeah.
all over the country. And if you are able to look at them on TV and be like, how did they get there? Then you should be also saying, I can do this too. Like, I mean, I want you to come with some substance now. Like, we not standing getting behind just anybody like they do. But we do want people who think that they don't fit the bill. Like, those are the people I want to vote for. If you got the
Bring it
right
up.
heart, yeah, I'm not looking for the old white man to vote for. I'm looking for the young person of color that is coming with some excitement, that's coming with some ideas, that's looking to change this, change the nation. And the only way we're gonna do it is if we go in droves. One
Yeah,
person can only do so much, they can only hold down so much. But if they're in on the island by themselves and they don't have any help, then we can't expect much from them. But if we
yeah.
go in there and we deep and we a team, then we can get a whole lot accomplished.
We can. And like the thing is, like, you can't complain about government. You can't complain about what, how our country is going if you're not participating in the game. Like you have to
Yeah.
participate in the game. You have to like figure out, all right, how we control the stuff, how do I use my voice? And like, even like working in government, being going to community meetings, actually answering stuff, like joining like little boards, going to like city council meetings, all those are ways to be involved in the way that our communities, our cities, our governments, our states are run. And these decisions, they affect our lives. So we have to, be a part of
I totally
it.
agree.
All right, I love you guys. Thank you
We
so
love
much for
you
being
back.
so patient with us, today, and while we figuring this stuff out, and bringing so much knowledge, and just your faces look so pretty. It's just so nice. Always nice to, you know, I always get so excited and just blessed to be around as a black gay man. I am always blessed to have black women around me, and I'm very grateful. Especially like I just especially my other sisters of the queer experience, and like because we're like share so much, and
Hmm.
I really like we have so much more in common than we have apart. And I just love you all. I love what you're doing in the community. Is there any y'all want to say anything else? Anything that you have left on your
I
heart?
would like to give socials. I would like to give. You can
Yes,
follow.
please do.
You can follow me at the Black Beer Experience. I talk, mess, and drink beer. And then you can find those Black queer women out there. You can find us at Black Link Nash. So that's BLAQLINK_Nash.
Okay.
Jared, you always first of all, we love you back. You and Brian. Love the organization, love what y'all are doing. Also love being
Mhm.
around y'all, being in your presence. It's always a pleasure. Y'all can keep in touch with me on IG at AC the Life Strategist.
Yes, the life strategist. I like that. I like that. Ooh, because some people they just we got good hearts. They just need a different strategy, need a different approach.
Listen,
But
exactly. And I
the
can
right
help
And
you find
approach.
your way. Yep,
And
let's
Yeah.
get it. Oh
virtual
yes,
needs,
that's on
virtual
me.
solution needs, Blipster VA. So
Yes,
we're a virtual agency, project management, operations. We hold you down.
we
All
got
right,
you
real
covered.
quick. What is a virtual agent? Real quick.
Blipster, Black Hipsters, but
No,
B
like
L
what?
I
What is
P.
that?
We are a project management and operations company. So we do all of our work virtually. Well, majority of the work virtually. We'll come from behind the computer if it makes sense. But pretty much, if you have projects, you want to get your business in order, you need processes implemented. We're your team.
Okay, come on now. You helping people strategize to get their stuff in order all different types of ways.
All
I love
different
it.
ways.
All different ways. Just call. Just call. Y'all gonna help them out with one of y'all businesses. All
We
right.
got
I
you.
love y'all.
Love you back. Thank you so much for this. This was fun.
It was fun. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Deuces.